Great. Okay, we're recording. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Clean Energy Academy. The date is Sunday, the 6th of October. Now, we're privileged to have George Wiseman with us. We would like to thank Valerie from Fringe Energy for arranging this interview. George is an author, researcher, and expert in alternative energy and health and wellness, specifically in the fields of molecular hydrogen therapy. He'll talk more about that later on. Now, I've been a longtime follower of George's work, and I've always been impressed with his innovative work over the years. But today we're especially interested in his most recent development of his hydrogen therapy device that we'll discuss later in the live call. As it has huge implications in healing, if not entirely reversing ailments that many of us are suffering from. George, welcome. It's an honor having you on, and please tell the audience a little bit about your background and who you are.
Okay, I grew up on a cattle ranch, and we didn't have any electricity or running water or indoor plumbing or anything. It was quite rural, and when I boarded out in town, we had a little country school that went to grade 10. And then when I boarded out in town to go to grade 11 and 12, I stayed at a person's house that had indoor plumbing and electricity and everything, which was quite interesting and nice. And I decided I'd never want to be without that again. So when it came time for me to start thinking of girls, I realized I wasn't a very rich man, and girls seemed to pay attention to people who had more money than I did. And so I thought, well, there's two different ways I could go. I could be an inventor or a prospector. I could probably figure out something along those lines. So I tried prospecting for a little while, and it was a lot of hard work. So I turned to the inventing, and I eventually actually got something, and that was in the fuel saver industry. And one of the trades that I've accumulated over the years is automotive technician. So I was able to make fuel savers that were quite effective. And I built a business on that called Eagle Research, Eagle-Research, if you're looking it up. And then it evolved into all different kinds of fuel savers. And because once I understood some things, I was able to do others. Mm-hmm. And I was able to, I ran across this thing called Brown's gas. Now, back in the day, I didn't know anything about the healing aspects of Brown's gas. That will be a couple of decades later. But at first, I found that I could increase the combustion efficiency of automobiles by about 25% if I added this like a catalyst to the incoming airflow, mm-hmm. and more or less keeping the regular fuel system intact and just making some adjustments and such. And then, but the main thing I was trying to do at the time was run vehicles on water, and I still haven't done that. I still have some ideas on how to do that, but I kind of got sidetracked. Anyway. Another thing that happened then with the Brown's gas was I developed a torch where you could replace acetylene in a normal acetylene torch and burn through steel and do all the kinds of things that a normal torch does very well. In fact, better than acetylene, and at 2% of the cost. So it was the downside is it's a $4,000 or $5,000 machine, where acetylene for $250 and rental a bottle, you're back in business, you know.
Wow.
So anyway,
yeah.
Then people who had the torch, one particular guy got back in touch with me. I have no idea what happened or why it happened, but he bubbled some of the gas in water, and he put that bubbled water, on a melanoma on his forehead. Wow. Just with a cotton ball, and he covered it with a piece of tape and a plastic cap, and he just kept changing out the water. And in 3 weeks' time, his melanoma was gone. This is what he told me in 1996. I had no idea the healthfulness of the gas or anything, so I didn't believe him.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. And that happens. It's an occupational hazard to being an inventor. You're wrong a lot. But then once in a while you find that good thing. Anyway, what happened was, though, I had several thousand people who had bought my water fuel savers and stuff, and mm-hmm. I told people about this potential application for the gas that could be used, and people started using my previous Brown's gas machines for health purposes and started getting back to me, and I was getting an amazing amount of testimonials. Unfortunately, I'm still pretty hard-headed, so from 1996 to 2005, I never even drank the Brown's gas water myself, even though I was saying it's a potential application and people were doing it. So in 2005, I started drinking it myself. I'm pretty hard-headed, okay? And from 2005 to present, I have never gotten sick again. I've gotten a sniffle, but I've never had the flu or cold or anything like that. By 2007, I was pretty convinced that it was a healthful thing to do, and I started making what I call the ER50 electrolyzers, which is tabletop Brown's gas electrolyzer or designed for health purposes, but just for the drinking of the water. Then people started asking me, how about inhaling the gas? Now, this was back in 2007, you know, and this was way before anybody was really realizing hydrogen for health or anything like that. And I knew the gas to be a combustible gas, okay? You could explode it or burn it or so I'm thinking having explosions in your lungs is not a good idea. Not a good idea. So I would say, no, don't breathe the gas. And then in December of 2015, a customer sent me a video of a hydrogen bar over in Korea where they were actually sitting in a row, and they had their little Brown's gas machines, and they were inhaling the gas with cannulas, similar to like this one that I have here next to my computer that I breathe the gas with when I'm sitting at my computer. And they were inhaling the gas, just like I am now. And I saw it going through the bubbler, and I realized I was wrong again. I realized why I was wrong. You see, you breathe in a certain amount of air, quite a lot.
Right.
And if you keep the amount of hydrogen that you're inhaling under the explosive limit, okay, so I knew about this explosive limit. I've been working with the gas for decades, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't occur to me that it was appropriate for health purposes, that a person that was the safety thing. As long as you're under the explosive limit of the gas, less than 4% in air, the gas can't explode and it's perfectly safe to inhale.
Wow, fascinating.
So, since then, people like Tyler DeBaron interviewed me back in 2007 because he was thinking of hydrogen for health at that time. And he went on and he's become one of the premier advocates for hydrogen for health. And there's now easily over 1,000 scientific studies and gathering more every day on just about every different kind of ailment.